Hello my dear students, I hope you all are very fine. First of all, congratulations to you all that you all have promoted to class 4 and you have done a very hard work in the last 1 year, and I hope you will do the same in this year also. I'm Sangeeta Kumari, your science teacher, and today we are going to start our first chapter of Evolving Science, that is chapter 1, Food for Plants. In this video we are going to cover the following topics that you are seeing on the board. First is parts of a plant, parts of a leaf, types of leaves, changing sunlight into food, and how do plants store food. Okay, so without wasting time, let's start our video. You all are knowing how the plant is important for us. We depend directly and most of the time indirectly also to get all the things. Like if we are eating the food is coming from the plant. If we are wearing the clothes is coming from the cotton, which is the part of the cotton plant. Okay, in the same way we get spices, we get grain, we get most of the edible thing. Okay, these all we are getting from the plant. Okay, next we are using eraser. Whenever we are doing the mistake, we erase with the eraser. Now how we are getting eraser? We are getting eraser from the plant. Tire are also made up of the rubber, which is obtained from the rubber plant. Okay, and mostly we depend on the plant for the oxygen that we breathe in. Without oxygen we cannot survive, and that is the most important thing we are getting from the plant. Okay, so the plant will not be there, then definitely the life could not be existed in this world. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to discuss a lot of things about the plant. Okay, how the plant prepare the food and so on. But before that we are going to discuss some of the definition which is very important in this chapter. Okay, we will introduce some of the word, and what is the meaning of that word also we will discuss. So first is photosynthesis. Okay, this word means making the food by the plant. Photo means light and synthesis means putting together. That means when the plant put all the ingredients together, they are able to make the food, and that is known as photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the process in which they use 4 ingredients. What are those ingredients? First is water, which is absorbed by the from the soil. Second is carbon dioxide, which is taken by the air from the air. Third is sunlight, and fourth is chlorophyll. If the plant put all these 4 ingredients together, they made their food in the form of glucose along with the oxygen. This whole process is known as photosynthesis. So in one line, if I will ask you what is photosynthesis, it is the formation of the food by the plant. Okay, and what ingredients are used, I have just explained. So this is the photosynthesis, which is the very important word in this chapter. Second is chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Usually we see green plants around us. Most of the plant are green in color, and that is due to the green pigment. You can see, you are seeing one side is leaf and second side other side is you are seeing the very small dot which is of green color. Actually this is the substance, or it is also known as pigment, green pigment. Due to these pigment only our plant look green, and this is known as chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is nothing but the substance. It is the substance due to that our plant look green in color. Third is leaf blade. Okay, it is the part of the leaf. If I will show you, wait, if you are able to see, this is a leaf, and the whole surface, this whole surface is known as leaf blade. It is the thin, flat and broad surface. Okay, this is leaf blade, and it is mostly flat and thin. Why? So that it can absorb maximum amount of sunlight. So leaf blade is the part of the leaf, and it is very thin and broad, so that it is able to absorb the maximum amount of sunlight. It is also known as lamina. Okay, so leaf blade and lamina both are the same thing. Fourth is transpiration. Transpiration is the process which process? Sometimes after the photosynthesis, just now I explained, in the photosynthesis water is used, but sometimes plants are having extra water. After the photosynthesis, extra water is remaining in the plant, so that water is released by the plant in the air with the help of the stomata, which is the small pores. Okay, so what is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of the water. Extra water in the plant is released out. This is known as transpiration. So transpiration is the loss of extra water from the plant through stomata. Okay, last one is the starch. Starch is the extra stored food in the plant that are used later to get the energy. Sometimes what we do? Sometimes we are not able to cook our food. So what we do? We use stored food. What our mother has made, the extra amount of food is used to eat. Okay, sometimes our mother is not well and maybe she has to go somewhere. Then she used to cook extra food so that we can eat later on. In the same way, plants also cook food that through the photosynthesis, not cooked, they made the food through the photosynthesis, right? So some amount of the food is stored to get the energy later on, when they are not getting sufficient amount of water, when they are not getting sufficient amount of sunlight. That time they are not able to make their food. That time these stored food is only utilized to get the energy. So this is known as starch. Starch are the stored food. Okay, these are stored in the different part of the plant. It can be stored in the fruit, it can be stored as a root, it can be stored as the stem also. So whatever vegetables we are eating or fruit we are eating, those all are actually starch. Okay, they all are stored food that we are consuming in the form of food. So these all 5 definitions are there in this chapter. I hope this is clear to you all. Now we are going to start our chapter. Plant is broadly divided into 2 parts. First, that is visible out of the ground, and second, that we are not able to see, that is root. Root is present under the ground and the other part is present above the ground. So first, the part which is present above the ground is known as shoot. So shoot contain flower, leaf, stem, branches, bud, and so on, but the shoot system only have root. Okay, so broadly it is divided into 2 parts. First is shoot system and second one is root system. Now why the root is important? What the root is doing for the plant? Root absorb the water and minerals from the soil. As you all are knowing, water is one of the ingredients for the photosynthesis. That means plant need that. Without that they cannot survive. So where they are getting these water from? From the soil, obviously. So this root help the plant to absorb the water from the soil. Okay, and after that it also transport these water to the stem, because water has to reach to each and every part of the plant so that they can do the other functions. That's why these water are transported to each and every part of the plant with the help of this root. Root transfer to the stem and stem send these to each and every part. Second, root also anchor the plant in the ground. That means if the root will be weak, the plant will also be weak. Okay, it cannot stand upright. If the root will be stronger, plant can stand very upright, very nicely and very strongly. So it also hold the plant under the ground. Second, you are seeing stem. Stem you are seeing, it is the middle part of the leaf, of the plant. As you can see, this is the stem. So stem is very important. Why? Because it only decide whether the plant will able to stand or they will spread on the ground or they need some of the support to grow. You must have seen some of the creepers. Creepers need support to grow. Why? Because their stems are very, very soft. You have seen the creepers also, they are spreading on the ground because they cannot stand. Their stem are very, very soft. But if you have observed the hibiscus plant or the rose plant or other plant which is having woody stem or the strong stem, they don't need any support. Why? Because their stem is enough to hold the plant or to keep the plant upright. So this stem is very, very important. Second function of the stem, just now I explained, it transport the water, okay, and the prepared food to each and every part of the plant. Okay, next is fruit. Fruit is very important. Why? Because inside the fruit only the seed is there, and seed is very, very important to grow the new plant from that. Okay, so this fruit is also important. And how we are getting this fruit? From the flower only. Flower is converting into fruit, and fruit is having seed which is used for the for getting the new plant. Okay, so these both are important, and the most important part of this plant which we are going to explain in very nicely in this chapter is the leaf. Leaf is called kitchen of the plant. Why? Because leaf is only able to make the food for the plant. Why? Because it is only having chlorophyll. Just now I explained chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in the leaf, so there only the food can be prepared. So these all are the part of the plant. I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, next, if you have seen around you, you must have seen the different shape of the leaf. Some are smaller, some are big like banana leaf, some are very small like neem leaf. But what these all leaf are doing, these all leaf perform the same function, that is formation of the food for the plant. Okay, it doesn't matter the leaf is bigger or the smaller or narrow, but these all are performing the same work for the plant. What is that? That is preparing food for the plant. So you can see these are the different shape of the leaf. Okay, cherry leaf, cottonwood, maple, okay, ivy, oak, neem leaf. You can write your own examples also, what you are seeing around you, no problem is there. Okay, so these are the different shape and the size of the leaf. Some of the plant you must have seen which is not green in color. I told you in the beginning of this video that most of the plant is green in color. Most of the plant, not all the plant. Some plant is not green in color. Why? Because they do not contain chlorophyll. Because of the chlorophyll, their color is green. But those plant which don't have chlorophyll, they don't look green. Okay, because chlorophyll is not there. So mushroom is one of the example of non-green plant. Okay, why? Because they are not having chlorophyll. Now the big question is arising from here, if they are not having chlorophyll, they are not able to do the photosynthesis, because just now I told you they must have 4 ingredients: water, carbon dioxide, sunlight and chlorophyll. If any one ingredient will be absent, then the plant cannot do photosynthesis. So mushroom don't have chlorophyll, then how they used to make the food? The answer is they are not able to make their food. Then how they used to survive? They used to survive because they are getting the nutrients from the soil, from the dead animals and plant. Sometimes the plant is falling and getting mixed into the soil. Sometimes plant dead and mixed into the soil, and whatever nutrients is released or come into the soil, that nutrients are absorbed by the mushroom to get the energy. Okay, so this is the example of non-green plant which is not able to perform the photosynthesis. Keep in this mind. Okay, next, which is also the very important in this chapter, is the parts of a leaf. Okay, you can see here 4 parts I have shown. First is vein, second one is midrib, third is lamina, and fourth is petiole, which is also known as leaf stalk. Okay, as you can see here, this middle one which is passing through the middle of the leaf, okay, center of the leaf, this is known as midrib. Okay, and parallel of this, okay, some parallel tube like structure is also passing. Okay, these are known as vein. okay, side vein. So middle one is main vein, which is also known as midrib, and the other which is branching from the midrib is side veins. Okay, so these all are like a tube. Tube means they are like a pipe. In between of these vein there is a hollow space which is used to transport the water. When the root is absorbing the water, it is passing to the stem, and stem is passing to each and every part of the leaf, and all over the leaf how the water is spreading with the help of this midrib and vein. Okay, if you can understand this. Have you seen the water tank on your roof? Okay, in the water tank the water is collected, and with the help of the pipe it is going to your bathroom, it is going to your kitchen, it is going to your drawing room, and wherever it is needed, right? So first the water tank is having a lot of water. From there it is coming to the main pipe, and again main pipe is dividing into the smaller one and going to each and every room. In the same way, root is absorbing the water, and that water is transport to the stem, and stem is transporting these water to the leaf, and in the leaf the main vein and side vein are spreading these water throughout the leaf. Okay, so this is the function of the midrib and side vein. Next is lamina. Just now I explained, this is the broad surface, this is the thin broad surface of the leaf, and it is very important because it used to absorb the sunlight. If the leaf will be very thick, it cannot absorb maximum amount of sunlight. That's why most of the leaf is very thin, and it is broad also. Why? Because more the surface area will be there, more sunlight can be absorbed. More sunlight will be there, then more photosynthesis can occur. This is the reason why most of the leaf is broad and thin. Okay, so that it can trap the sunlight in a large amount. Next is stalk. As you can see, this one, this is the stalk. Okay, so this is the part which used to attach the leaf with the stem. Okay, this is stem actually. Okay, so a stem is having the leaf, but the leaf is attached to the stem with the help of petiole or stalk. Okay, this is the utilization of this. If the stalk will not be there, it cannot move. Okay, if we are not having the wrist, suppose we are not having the wrist, how we will move our hand? No. So that's why this is the attachment of the leaf with the stem. So these are the part of the leaf. One more part is present in the leaf, but we are not able to see from the naked eyes. Do you know what is that? That is the small pores which is present on the lower surface of the leaf. If the leaf is like this, okay, the stomata, most of the leaf is having the stomata on the lower surface. Okay, lower surface is having very tiny pores that we are not able to see from the naked eyes. If you will use microscope, then you can see the small pores is looking like this. Okay, so this is the leaf. If you are seeing the leaf with the naked eyes, you are not able to observe these tiny spores. But if you will see this part with the help of the microscope, as you can see, this picture is the microscopic view. Okay, so you are able to see the tiny pores. See, this is the stomata, this is the stomata, and this I have circled is a stomata. So these are stomata. Okay, what is the stomata? Stomata are these small pores which is present on the lower surface of the leaf. Okay, the singular form of stomata is a stoma. Okay, so both are the same. One stomata is known as stoma. Many stomata is known as stomata. Okay, there is a difference only this. So these are used for the plant in two ways. Okay, these stomata are performing function, very important function. Two function is, first is breathing, that means exchange of gas. You all are knowing human being need oxygen. Okay, when we inhale, we take oxygen and we release carbon dioxide. But in the plant, they need carbon dioxide. They take carbon dioxide. Why? Because only carbon dioxide is needed for the photosynthesis, na? That's why they need only carbon dioxide, not the oxygen. So first of all, they absorb carbon dioxide, and after the photosynthesis they release oxygen also. As you can see, this is the this is carbon dioxide which is absorbed. As you can see, arrow is from outside. That means carbon dioxide is coming into the leaf, okay, and this you can see the blue one is oxygen. That means after the photosynthesis oxygen is released. So this is the first function of these stomata, to exchange the gases. Second, as you can see, this is water. Just now I explained transpiration. Transpiration is the process to remove the extra amount of water from the plant, and how it is removed from these small pores, which is stomata. So stomata is doing two work: first, exchange of the gases, and second, loss of extra amount of water. These two function, and it is very, very important also. Now one more time we are going to know about the photosynthesis. I have already explained, but just let's see one more time. If we will break the word photosynthesis, okay, one word we will get photo, and second word we will get synthesis. Photo means light. Which light? Not the tube light, but the sunlight. Okay, here the light means sunlight, and synthesis means putting together. That means in the presence of sunlight we will put together all the ingredients, that means water and carbon dioxide. Then the food will be prepared, which is known as photosynthesis. Okay, so photosynthesis is the process in which sunlight, carbon dioxide is used in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and glucose is made in this process. Sometimes you must have seen the plants are not getting sufficient water. Suppose I am going to my relative and I am not able to water my plant for 2 days or 3 days. So water they are not getting. But water is very important for photosynthesis, right? So if they are not getting sufficient amount of water, they are able to do the photosynthesis? No. But still they can survive. If you will return from your relatives, then you will see your plants are not dead. They are still alive. That time how they alive? They were not getting the food, then how they are alive? That means there is some process, or there is some way that they are not getting sufficient ingredients, they are still able to survive. Now let's know what happened in this situation. Sometimes they are not getting a sufficient amount of sunlight also, okay, sufficient amount of water also, but still they can survive. Why? Because when they are getting all the ingredients, that time they always make extra food. Plants are very smart, na? Plants are very smart. That's why they always make their food in extra amount. Okay, some of the amount they use to get the energy instantly, and some of the amount is stored to use later on. Okay, and this is only known as starch. Okay, so let's read what is written on the screen. Sometimes plants do not get sufficient light or water, so they cannot make the food. That means they cannot do photosynthesis. For such time, plant store food in their root, stem, leaves, flower and fruit are used to get the energy. You are seeing many examples on the screen, na? Okay, you are seeing first is potato. Actually potato is a stem. Okay, it is a stem. When the plant are storing food in the stem, they are swallow. Okay, and it is known as food. So potato is actually the stem of the plant. Next, cauliflower. Cauliflower is actually the flower which has stored food in the form of starch. Okay, next is mango. Mango is a fruit which is storing starch. Okay, cabbage. Cabbage is actually the leaf which has stored a lot of amount of starch, and that we use to eat as a food. Okay, so this is the way how they used to store the food. Understood? So the function of some plant is storing the food which is made by the plant, okay, in the form of root, or in the form of fruit, in the form of leaf, and so on. Okay, so what is a starch? What is a starch? As you can see, starch are the extra stored food in the plant. Okay, some of the plant do not have flower, do not have fruit and vegetables. That time if they are having only the leaf, then in the leaf only they are storing the food in the form of starch. And some of the plant is able to convert this starch into the fruit or vegetable or any seed. Okay, so starch is only the stored food, and these stored food can be present in any part of the plant. Some of the plant store this starch in root, like just now I said carrot. Just now I not said, sorry, carrot. Carrot is the example of root which is stored starch. Some of the part like stem. Stem is also storing starch, like sugarcane, potato and ginger we are using. That is the stem actually which is having starch. Okay, apple you are eating, apple is a fruit that is stored starch. So in one line, one more time I want to conclude this topic. Plant make extra food, okay, in the form of starch, and this starch can be stored in any part of the plant depending upon which type of plant is that. Some plant is stored in root, some plant is stored in stem, and some plant is stored in the form of fruit. So I hope you all have understood this video. Okay, we have covered half of the chapter in this video. So I hope you all will watch this video very nicely. Okay, and after watching this, whatever doubt you are having, you must discuss in the class. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this. Please watch this because teachers are making this video only for you. Thank you so much and have a nice day.